Hey everyone, it is September the 9th, so I will be posting this later today. I was intending to record this yesterday, right? And then I posted a video that had to do with a public figure, and that's what I felt drawn to do. So I'm picking back up on what I started saying in that last video, which is basically like what's been going on with me. And at this point I'm trying to figure out what it means, but not so heavily. So to kind of explain how I receive information is a multitude of ways. So if there's a passed away person, they can often come to me in the form that like someone that they knew would know them as and deliver information, and it's directly from them with the guidance and receptivity of not just me but my guardian angels, because our guardian angels also serve as protectors on varying degrees, because we have a multitude of guardian angels. We have a team working behind us in the spiritual realm, and so there has to be acceptance of the message before it can really get through, and they can be super persistent, but you have to be receptive of it, right? So I just want to point that out because that's something separate, right? And sometimes I know that they've passed away. I mean, the majority of the time, I can't really think off the top of my head if I can remember anyone who I wasn't sure about, because they make it clear. But I guess the where the confusion can kind of set in for me is like, who does this message go to? And I usually end up speaking to someone later that day. Yeah, it's not usually like several months later. It's like pretty soon after I see them that I connect who this person is wanting to deliver a message to, which is ultimately it comes from a place of love, a source of love. Like, hey, like obviously I care about you and love you. That's why I'm coming through. And sometimes they will like deliver information to me that it's like kind of like speaking through me, you know? So I know that it's coming from somewhere like good, somewhere high vibrational, or like heavenly is really the word I was getting. It's like it feels heavenly and like soft. That's what it feels like. And so I sometimes can't identify the source, like who, but then just by me saying it, then that person connects it with whether it's their passed away loved one or their guardian angels, like a message that they specifically have for themselves, and it's just reaffirming something for them. So another way that I receive messages is like visions and dreams, and a bit. I'm not sure how this is going to connect. I just feel guided to tell you guys or like explain this a little bit further. What I was receiving, so since that video I posted, not yesterday, but the one about a dark cloud and topaz eyes, like a few days after that, I don't specifically remember the day exactly, but I had this like dream vision, like it's kind of going in between, and it's not like, I don't know, every time I do a video or like a reading, I can't pick up the word that I'm looking for. When you're not astral traveling is when you go from REM to waking, and it's that dream, that intense dream. I can see the word, but I can't say. I can't see. I can't say it. But it's like that. But I don't know how to explain it, because it's like it kind of carried on. I don't know. It came through kind of different than I've like ever really experienced. It wasn't asleep. It wasn't necessarily like in between state. It wasn't fully awake. It was like all of it combined, but as I don't know, it was really weird, because it was happening throughout the day, and like I don't know, it's just weird. So to get into it, you guys are probably like, okay, what is it? Well, they were showing me, I'm drawing them back in, I'm drawing my guardian angels back in to assist me in communicating this to you accurately as possible, and also to deliver more information as necessary. And as I say that, I can feel chest pain, like in my heart area, like so the left side, I'm feeling a slight chest pain. And so what I saw is a vision of me writing. I'll do it right now. This is gonna be like weird deja vu. I don't know. And the word I'm getting is ominous. I'm getting the word ominous. Ominous a lot. So I almost hesitate to write it. But, and I never write like this. Well, okay, so I did NOV, like November, and I'm seeing I wrote 11, but in my head I'm saying 15. So I'm writing NOV.11. In my head I'm saying November 15. I don't know what that means. And like, I don't write like that. Like I would write a whole November or something, you know, I wouldn't do like that. And it's interesting too, because then that specifies, because you know, you could do like 1511 or 11, like depending on how you write it. And so this just kind of, I mean, there's no 15 month, but still, you could put 11/11, I guess, because because see, this is what I'm saying. It's like in my head, I'm seeing, or I'm saying, and it's like when I write it, in the vision, I'm writing it, but then in my head, in the vision, I'm saying it and seeing November 15. You know what I mean? Like you write something and you're kind of like not really paying attention, and then you're like, oh crap, I put something else. It's like kind of like that, but not quite. I didn't say oh crap in my head or anything. So yeah, and this just gives me like the creeps, and I'm gonna get rid of this after this. I just like doing that, it just feels so uncomfortable, and I can feel like my joint, my elbow joint, like the outside of my elbow joint hurting, and I can feel my temple hurting. It's like a sharp pain. And then I was having this awareness, like it's kind of like this auditory awareness. It wasn't like someone was saying it, but it felt like not even like people were thinking it. It's like people were knowing it, you know, like they were basically saying, in quotations, they were knowing they're here. They're here. They're here. That's what I'm hearing. They're here. They're here. It's time. They're here. It's time. They're here. And so for those, I'm not aware of this. I'm more than likely going to do research after I post this video. I don't know where I'm going to find this information, accurate information. I'm not going to ask around. Because I know I can access people who will have this information for me, but I don't want to. But I'm hearing like, and this is coming from this darker place. So I know this, and they're like, you better not. So those of you who are aware of like cult, celebrations, like times, this is probably a very interesting time for that, because that's what I'm seeing is like they're conjuring, and it's not everyone, you know, and I can relate this back to, how do I word this on here? I can relate this to the next upcoming days, like 2 days from today. There is something that occurred at that point that was, in some ways, it was leading up to it was sigil magic, and that in itself, even though it was a sacrifice, a mass sacrifice, it was also another layer of sigil magic for something grander than that. That's probably a poor choice of words, grander. It's not grand at all. So that's what I was seeing. Is this same group, so low-level people are not part of this group, but they're around the world, bringing in otherworldly entities, which I need to specify what I'm seeing exactly with that. So when I got this feeling, and excuse me if this is the wrong movie, I have not seen Men in Black, I have not seen Independence Day, pretty sure they both had Will Smith. But I remember when I was younger and they would have commercials for this movie, and they would also put it on TV, and so I would just see like parts of it, or maybe I saw commercials like in the passing where it's lands, like the spaceship lands, and I don't know if they start fighting right then, but it's like this very, once again, ominous feeling, almost like perpetual doom and just kind of fright. And then if you were on the side of these like evil aliens, or whatever kind of alien you want to call them, bad aliens, then you, and I want to clarify too, that the way that when I said that, my guardian angels are spinning me around the alien, like the spaceship, they're spinning me around it completely, and they're showing me like all angles that you look at this, it is not the like you can change your perspective and it would still be the same. Even from the perspective of this alien, they are still evil. It doesn't matter whom you inhabit and perceive this vision. You know what I mean? So that's what I just want to point that out. So there's basically the like guns are out and fighting, and I don't know the history of BERRA. I don't know if that's significant or not. I kind of feel, I want to say, is that German? Is BERRA German? And I don't know how that's related. If it is German, because I feel pulled towards, it's like a Germanic ancestral lineage. There's something connected there that they're pulling me to, that they're highlighting. They're like showing me stuff like that, or like, I don't know, Slavic something, or I don't know, something European over there, ancient. They're showing me, ancient artifact. I don't know. And then they're showing me like horns. You know how the who are they? I think they're also European, but they're the other kind, with the horns on the helmets, and then they travel by boat. They're showing me the horns. Context clues that I'm... Okay, what are you telling me? So that's it. Oh, so what's happening that I picked up on is directly connected to this ancient practice and belief system that originates, or there's like a big event that happened back then that is in historical records that would connect to what is occurring in this vision. And what this vision is telling me is that they've arrived. So this arrival is the beginnings of the end, or like the beginnings of the beginning. It's like you have to have them here in order to fight the battle, because then I lost it. I lost it. I don't know. I don't have anything past that. With that. I don't see. They're asking me to be in the perspective of that character. I don't know, Will Smith, and looking, and it's like being like they're saying like why, like what is his in that scenario, what is his objective? Like what is his perspective? And I assume it's to save humanity. So yeah, then I'm just whatever. just talking in my head. So I'm asking if I can move forward from that subject, and they're showing me the dew, like morning dew rising from the ground, the surface of the soil, and they're highlighting that because it's a concerted effort. They're showing me these people, okay, and they're wanting me to back up and explain how I'm seeing these people. So this is separate subject but connected. So just moving on, right? So they're showing me something else. Okay, ignore the Will Smith and everything. So they're showing me these people, and the way it's looking is like an egg or like a shell, like a hollow, dark, grayish circle, or more like egg shaped, so like oval, and they're placed all around the world, and they're showing me how those are like portals, right? Sorry, there are portals where these eggs are near. Portals, and how they're interconnected energetically. These eggs that are at these portals are interconnected energetically to each other currently, and have been since recently, since this arrival. And so these eggs are actually people, but they want to point out that the reason I'm seeing them that way is because they're highlighting how our bodies, like the human body, is just a shell. It's not us, it's our vessel, it's our avatar, it's our way to inhabit this world, this alien world. We have inhabited the body to become here, like to be here. And so they're pointing this out because they're like, you know, your soul is not your body. Like your body is inhabiting your soul is inhabiting the body, but it's like a protective shell, so you can communicate, move around, and experience this world in a way that this world exists, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be... I'm gonna get into it. I will explain it in a minute, so I'm sure you're following me at this point. So they're showing me that the people that are inhabiting these particular eggs that are near these portals have varying holes in their soul. And the holes are this absent of light, which essentially, not essentially, is exactly meaning that is the denial of God. That is the refusal of God. It's not necessarily denying God's existence. It's the refusal of God as the supreme being, as source, or like honoring or respecting God. It's trying to move away from God, right? So any moment that you move away from God creates a little crater. But these people have like actual like holes within their soul because it's very, very absent to varying degrees. That's what these people are. And what they're doing is some sort of channeling or seance, where they're working in tandem with this entity, this primary entity that has arrived. It's arrived. It feels foreign. It feels alien. It feels from another dimension. It feels like from another dimension, like, but galaxies away. So like I've talked about where there's like worlds that are interconnected to this world, and they have been conquered. They were given the ability to conquer these places, but they honestly, in their divine right in some way, and it's not necessarily divine, I mean it is their divine right because it's the process, it's the plan and the process, but it's our job to correct everything, and that can go on for as long as we desire, unless there's direct divine intervention when things get way out of whack and way too absent and just absolute berserk, which it seems like it's kind of balancing on that. But there are these ones that are very close to the world, I mean to this galaxy, that are super demonic. I don't know if I've actually outright said that. I'm pretty sure I have, if you could go back to it, but they're super demonic. And there's a lot of people who they cross through, they're crosswalkers. They go from here to those other dimensions. And a lot of these evil people. Anyway, moving on from that's just giving background to this, but it's going back to my other videos if you don't know what I'm talking about. And then like some of the other ones, just to point out, because they're guiding me to at least point this part out, is like some of these other ones have switched over to the light. They have risen their vibration. They have those families, those ancient families, ancient demonic families, they have switched over to more angelic worlds. And so it is possible, and it is meant to happen. This is just the takeover. It's like, you know how like this world, they try and conquer different countries and areas. It's the same thing with these places. It's constantly like that. But when you're at a certain vibration, that's your powerhouse. That's your shield and your defense, and your primary attack is that they can't vibrationally match you. Therefore, they have no way of getting to you. They have no access to you energetically, because you're not even close. It's like when they're giving me the example of Wi-Fi, and how with Wi-Fi you can get like dual band, tri-band, all that, and essentially the Wi-Fi will hijack onto these different bands of energy so that you can get a better connection in case it's broken up. And so they have to jump onto the energy like that. They have to hijack it that way. But if you're a completely different match, then that by nature they would have to raise their vibration, which they do not want to do. You get what I'm saying? So moving back on to this, they're showing me the rising of dew, and what they're basically telling me, what they're telling me is, they're telling me to look at the dew. They're like, look at the morning dew. What is that? And what they're saying is what's rising up is a separate kind of entity. We'll say that this is like, we're going to call the first thing that was coming down from somewhere else like an actual alien group. Okay, a demonic alien group that cannot be seen unless you are a certain vibrational match. Okay, you cannot see that. So that they have arrived, they are here, they are now here on Earth, they are now existing. And what I'm seeing is the dew is working as one collective unifying energy, negative energy. That's what that dew is. When you look at it, you're like, it looks like one thing. But when you identify what exactly is morning dew, and they're showing me the like the chemical components to it. You know, it's like you have nitrogen, you have oxygen, you have, okay, you don't have bromine. You don't have bromine. You have iodine and krypton. And they're showing me, they stopped me there. They showed me krypton and they showed me iodine. And then they pulled up the periodic table of elements. And they're showing me, they're like like that. Like on this side, there's like a couple here that are dinging. They're like ding, ding. And here it's like ding, 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 ding. And there's a couple here. It's like somewhere here, somewhere here. Like yellow, 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 red, something like that. Like ding, ding, but it's like... and then here, the reason why I said bromine, doesn't matter. Iodine, there's something important to that. There's something important to that element or somewhere around here. It's like, it feels like like, not frustrating. That's a poor choice. It's like I just want to grab it. I just want to grab it and take control of the situation. I don't know how to explain it. It's like urgent, but I'm not scared. I'm not anything. It's just like urgent. So I just want to go ahead and grab that up. I just want to take this whole section of elements out. And they're highlighting either krypton, iodine, bromine, something around there, that something is there, something important connected to all of this. And they're showing me how, okay, so they want me to explain how vapor even occurs, how morning dew exists. I'm asking to it, and they're like, talk it out, talk it out. So when the temperature doesn't match the air, that creates vapor. And they're connecting that to this alien source and the demonic sources that are rising up like water vapor, like a mist, and how this mist collectively looks like one energy or one source or one entity. When you break it down to its particles, it's many different ones, right? So to keep that in mind, like that, it's similar to how when people collectively work in prayer, that can lift humanity as well. And so these, I know you get it, but I'm just gonna write it down anyway. So it's like here, I'm just gonna do it like that. It doesn't matter how many, I'm not saying exactly how many. So here are the portals. And then here are the people at the portals, at the different portals. All connected, interconnected, right? Their energy is interconnected. All of them are working together. Here's the center, and this is that alien source. And below it, which I should have done in a different dimensional way of drawing, but the vapor is coming up from beneath everywhere. The vapor. And the vapor is lower demonic energy channeled through these people. They're channeling demons, they're raising demons from the ground through these portals, through this event. And it's a continued event that is continuing from a few days ago to I don't know how long, I don't know how frequent, I don't know anything about that. What they've done or what they're doing is that creates a refraction or a there's showing me how light and They're showing me how not just the water vapor, but how that can create reflections, right? Like rainbows and just reflections in this atmosphere or whatever. Like how you can physically see it. How you can physically see it is because it's reflecting off of these created vapors. The light is reflecting off of it. Okay? I'm getting frustrated with myself. And what that vapor is doing, what this demonic uprising is doing, is creating a reflection onto these aliens. It's like they're holographic, or like they're invisible. They're invisible to the naked eye. And so you have to channel demons in order to connect these vibrations so that they are visible. Just like vapor, it's like just like the way the temperature doesn't match, and that creates the vapor, and you're able to see not just the little droplets, but you can actually see the mist. You got it? I think you got it. You get what I'm saying. That's what's going on. Something's going on here, and that's what's going on. And I'm asking, like, how does this connect to everything that I've been saying? And they're basically saying it's obvious, which I guess, yeah, I wasn't really giving it much thought, but it is obvious because it's collective individual attacks. And now they're not just inviting these alien beings, like, it's like this, I'm asking, I'm like, well, just trying to get some information, basically. And they're connecting me how they're saying, like, you know how before you saw, I said it in a video, I don't remember exactly what all I said, but basically they're harvesting people and creating their own sort of like humanoid takeover, alien takeover, like that would mask as a fake alien invasion, and they have material that they could use, and maybe that has something to do with that element that I saw, halogen. I think it's in the halogen department, I don't know. There's something over there that's important, and then over here, connecting here, mixed with that. We have to see what the chemical components of that together would make. If I could sit down and do that, I guess, but I don't know if I will. I probably will at one point. But anyway, because it's a disguise, it's a ruse, right? You're looking at something that you would identify, like, not you, but just like the general population would identify as aliens, like people that may not look like us or may not talk like us or have some other issue going on. We're overwhelmed with all these other different attacks or issues that are going on worldly that are all calculated, manifested attacks through all the different types of agencies that they've okay, moving on from that. So basically they're doing all of this that's not real. This is what's real. What's real is you have to, like, they can walk among us without being visible, because they come from a different galaxy. They come from a different area. So our eyesight cannot pick up on their frequency. Like, or it's not their frequency, honestly, it's like how they're comprised. Like, they come from a place where the elements, the periodic elements, are either non-existent or like different there, and so it's masked. They're masked in a different way, you know. You get what I know you know what I'm saying, but I guess I'm just trying to figure everything out myself. And then I'm just thinking about like the comparison of these attacks that I saw, where it's not just the fake alien attacks, but like the biochemical attacks, and like weather attacks, weather manipulation that I'm seeing, like how you can discern between what's real and what isn't, right? Like how you connect between each event of, is this a calculated attack or is this natural? Is this made? Like, is this engineered or is it not? Because how's, you know, even with this, it's like, how can you convince people what is real versus what is created? Like what's engineered. So that's where I'm at right now. That's what I saw. And that's that. I'm going to pull a card though, the Archangels, and this is going to be a message for everyone. I'm going to get rid of these. Guardian angels and archangels protecting us, please. Can you send us a message of wellness? They're saying how, well, let me just show you this. So it's Counselor Archangel Azrael, if you want to look them up. You're a natural counselor and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. And this coincides with what I was going to say, which is essentially, and if you want to look at this too, this is something that was pointing out to me, Archangel Raziel, I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. And that's essentially what I'm seeing, is that we have to open our sensitivities and our hearts to love and to that inner guidance, because that's really the best way for us to discern between what's real and what's calculated, what's engineered by and driven by evil. And with Counselor and being like people benefiting from guidance and reassurance, is what I'm seeing is, before I pulled this, what I was being told is like, we have to come together. We have to collectively communicate to each other, like in person. Like we have to actually like get to know each other, get close to each other. And they're highlighting back to this previous video where I was talking about upcoming information or upcoming events, and how the same thing, like we have to start talking to our neighbors and like being aware of people around us, because we need to be able to work as a community and help other people. That's the only way of true, not to get too apocalyptic with it, but like true survival, and also like having the truth revealed is really congregating with people and bouncing ideas off of people, not living in like an echo chamber, right? Like people with differing opinions and beliefs and understandings, so that we can really collectively having it's like having good communication with people, or like good arguments, like effective arguments that you have with people that you care about. It's like, what's the common goal? The common goal is to understand each other. The common goal is to come to a rational and fair conclusion, right? And so that's kind of how I'm seeing, is like communicating with people with different beliefs, but having the common goal, right? The common goal of light, of love, of togetherness, of liberty, of all of these positive aspects, and see where your skills can be put to use. Where are you able to be of benefit, and what can you work on within yourself to be a benefit to yourself and to others, right? Not falling into a fear mindset of like becoming a hoarder or something like that, where you're like hoarding your energy and hoarding your resources, hoarding yourself away. It's about resisting that human urge or that human nature to do that. You know, obviously you have to maintain yourself and take care of yourself, but beyond that, where does it get to the extremities? That's what I'm saying. And finally, we have outdoors. Archangel Jophiel, go outside, get some fresh air, and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. So that's just a reaffirmation of the things that I was saying, where you have to be sociable and you have to literally go outside and connect with nature and understand the influxes of how nature communicates with you. It's going to be very, very important in these difficult times that people are experiencing currently and are going to continue to experience in different ways. And finding creative ideas for you to not only keep yourself entertained, but to keep yourself healthy and happy, and help others. So that's what I see. That's it. I'm sticking to that. Bye.